Andrew Tate detained.
Yeah.
The news broke Monday. It was really weird. I do prep for PBD podcast, so I look for news stories and I get news alerts, and my phone just started blowing up at like 4:23 in the morning on Tuesday morning. And then it's article after article coming out that Andrew Tate had been detained again in Romania, this time on an arrest warrant out of the United Kingdom. And according to you, Adin Ross is the reason that Andrew Tate got arrested. Tell us more, Shane.
Yeah, so my angle here is that Gen Z has a problem. I mean, they are just stupid, first of all, and they're snitches, and they basically are just serving the role of the, whatever you want to call it, totalitarian state for them, because they just blab everything out. So basically, Andrew Tate got arrested this week. The reason, it turns out, is because Adin Ross on a stream last week said, "Hey guys, guess what? Tate just hit me up. It's his last week in Romania. He wants me to fly out and do a week's worth of content with him because he's going to leave the country forever." The law firm
he's detained on house arrest.
So he's detained on house arrest.
And at one point, I know that his mother was facing some type of medical issue, and he had requested that he be able to leave Romania to be able to go be at his mother's side, and the Romanian government declined that request. So it's publicly known that Andrew Tate is on house arrest in Romania and can't leave the country.
So it's like, yeah, don't tell your million Kick followers about this, Adin, but let's watch the first clip. Because it's Adin explaining. Well, the first clip is Adin actually saying it.
Andrew had hit me up. He said, "Hey, I'm going to be leaving Romania soon and probably never coming back. If you want to come over and do a week of long streams and content before I leave, I think it'll be big." And I'm sorry, he said it's basically now or never. So, and this is just, I told you guys this year, it's a week of content, right? And again, guys, it might be the last time we ever do this. So it's kind of like we got to take advantage of it now because, hey, bro, it's basically like, yeah, it's like that. And then.
And they also can't talk, by the way.
So let me ask. So did he know, like, was this maliciously done?
No.
Did he know the repercussions, or is it just stupidity?
So I'll go over his excuse in a second, but let's just look at the letter. So this is a letter from the law firm confirming. So it's the law firm representing Tate's accusers, the 4 anonymous accusers in the UK. It's a UK-based firm. They confirmed that if you could just zoom in on the bold part, Kelly, they said, "Last week, we received information that Tate might have been planning to flee Romania, where he is due to stand trial for separate allegations of rape and human trafficking. We wrote to the British police to bring this to their attention and to urge them to immediately seek a warrant for Tate's detention in Romania and extradition to the UK." So now, not only did Tate get arrested, now it's totally worked out that he will be extradited to the UK after his Romania trial is finished. And so if we could play just the next clip of Adin talking about the follow-up, yeah.
Oh my God.
Really fucked up. And Andrew Tate's team confirmed
Right away
that I fucked up, and Tate told me, right? I fucked up, and thank God he did not get put back in there because I would have felt really guilty. Tate had spoke to me, and he said, "Dude, just come to Romania. I want to give my people and your people what they want to see. Let's do some content. You're okay, and I forgive you." Because I apologize. I felt really fucking bad, bro. Like, really bad. And I really, really feel bad about that, and I'm sorry. I honestly did not mean for that to happen. My motive and my reason speaking about location was because I didn't want to get swatted. So I basically, which was really stupid.
So I watched a longer clip of that. He does not elaborate about what that means. He goes, "Oh, I didn't want to get swatted." So what I think he's trying to say is he didn't want to just say, "I'm going to do a week's worth of content with Tate," and have his followers think that this was occurring in the U.S. I think he said it because he wanted to make it clear that it was in Romania so they couldn't swat him. And for those who don't know, swatting is when you fake that someone else is doing a bomb threat so that a SWAT unit gets sent to your house, and it's a way to harass people on the internet, which Adin Ross has gotten swatted many times before. Streamers do this to each other all the time. But so, I mean, what do you guys think?
No, you're killing me. You're killing me. Like, I do a Saucecast, and I think I had enough Adin Ross content to last me for a lifetime.
So tired.
I hate talking about this guy. I hate that he's famous. I think this is on Tate for hangout. If you hang out with stupid dudes.
Very true.
Like, if you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. That's what it is. Okay, like if you're gonna, you don't tell this guy anything. It's not the first time. Like I can quote 2 or 3 times he talked too much. Their business model is to be permanently online. They turn on Twitch in the morning, and whatever comes in their limited resource head comes out of their mouth. So they just need to fill in. You said that radio 3-hour radio is hard.
Yeah.
These guys do 8 hours.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
this?
but they don't say.
I mean,
First of all, what are they famous for? Like, what is he famous
I
for
think
doing?
like just
Video
famous.
Just video games
Video
online.
games.
We're just in this phase, and it's a really good point that you make. We're in this phase where anybody that's a complete no talent and a complete idiot can just live stream themselves saying shit for 5 hours
I'm writing
a day.
this down.
Like literally,
all of that.
How to get my 10 million.
you live stream yourself saying shit for 5 hours a day. You amass a huge following, and then all of a sudden you are an important person because all of these people are following you. Just the internet is filled with these idiots. It's just whatever. Like I was not aware of who this person was until a week ago when apparently he paid Sexy Red for sex. And that was the whole thing. And it's like I was like, okay, and then they had to backtrack on that. He was like, oh yeah, I smashed Sexy Red, whatever.
Yeah, but then didn't she tweet out like, yeah, you paid me to have sex with you? Who's the winner on that
Yeah,
one?
she said you paid me to take your virginity. So she's admitting to hoeing,
Yes,
and
yeah,
he's
that's what I
admitting
thought.
to paying a hoe. And I should care who these people are. Like I feel the same way about like that little dick porn star, the Adam guy that's on that guy.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I know who this
Definitely didn't
person
watch
is
that
famous
video.
for. Why? Because like it's just like whatever.
It's exhausting.
I don't know.
But what we also need to know is that these kids are filthy rich from doing this.
That's the whole thing. They're so
Filthy
fucking
rich.
rich.
More than
I looked up
25 million.
So rich.
I looked up Adin Ross's net worth. I don't think this is accurate. It said 15 million. I feel like I remember him saying it's 80 million. He said that his contract to go to Kick, leaving what's the other one, Twitch.
Yeah.
He said it was the most. It's the highest contract ever in streaming history, and he said it's not over 150 million. So it's like, oh, it's not over. Like,
Yeah.
how much could that possibly be? And I saw some video of Adin giving the other streamer kid, I Show Speed, a watch. These are 21-year-olds giving him $150,000 watch.
I can't even hate, like, honestly, I'm a capitalist. We love capitalism. Like, I can't even hate on it. I just don't know why I always have to talk about these people. Like,
I know.
like get your money.
Right, exactly. Don't knock it. But like, I have a question. Do you think that there's value for any higher ups, like in governments and stuff, to have dumb millionaires and billionaires?
Well, there's value for them because they can probably use these people. They can control them via their messaging.
Right.
And they can use these people to reach people that will never watch Fox or whatever. I mean, it's just... This is a very weird era that we're living in where basically anybody can get super famous overnight. And if you know what's going on, you make a lot of money. And when you have one of the top 3 or the number 1 thing that most kids want to do nowadays is become an influencer, which is fine. Like I get capitalism, like be an influencer of value. I think.
Right.
I always think about in terms of like whenever I'm putting something out, whenever I'm doing anything, I always think about like what value am I creating to my audience? Am I entertaining them? Am I informing them? I'm doing whatever. I don't know what the value of an Adin Ross is.
And I appreciate that type of content more. Like a lot of the things that I subscribe to on YouTube, a lot of the influencers that I follow are people, and it's very lame, but it's people that specialize in home construction and stuff like that.
No, that's
because
not lame.
I have a
not
home.
lame.
I know,
Poor.
but it's like like I should be following Instagram models or chicks with big boobs,
No,
but instead
no,
it's
but
like
you see,
I
they
like
want you to
Bob
do
with the
that.
tractor because I own a home. I'm doing home improvements on the weekend, but I'm
You're mad.
learning something from the content. They're putting good back into the world because I'm able to take that and make my
Skills.
life better. I agree with you. I don't understand who can watch somebody stream video games or whatever these guys do and have their lives get better. If anything,
But you know
I would
what?
feel like their lives get worse because those people are actually paying their hard-earned money or maybe their parents' hard-earned money to help these people by donating to, like, I remember I was on Twitch and our radio show that I worked for out of Tampa at the time, his name's Bubba the Love Sponge. He was a guy that was huge on the radio in the 90s, had a hard time making that transition to digital. But we figured out, hey, there's this thing called Twitch. It was 2017. It was just taking off. We put him on Twitch. He was one of the first broadcasters. The way that he made money was by people that were watching donate their money to him in bits. So not only they're not receiving receiving anything instructional, educational, or making their lives any better. It's actually taking away from them by taking their money.
Exactly.
What I was gonna say is, like one thing that I learned is sort of my following has sort of there's a very transitional period for my following right now, because I got my following, I became famous or whatever by being, I'll say, like, I was a big Trump person, like I got in that world, and then I'm kind of like not as much of a booster as I was in the past, and so now I'm starting to say real shit, and some people don't like that. And what I realized when you transition is that you are your following. Okay, if your following is a bunch of freaking losers in their basement giving, like, that is like, that's who you are. But look, you can make a lot of money off of losers. Okay, you can make a lot of money off of low IQs. Like, think about the people, like, think about who's following Sexy Red, or who's following Suki, like, who's following the Ratchets or whatever. Like, you are your following. Granted, they're making a lot of money, and you're making a lot of money off of a very low IQ following who you're not adding value to. They're not adding really value to you, is only just because they're watching, consuming the stuff, and they're not making their lives any better. Like, you're not informing people, you're not giving them at least a perspective, you're not doing anything but talking shit, flexing watches, and being on stream. And I fear that is what a lot of the younger people right now, like, that's who they're getting value from. Like, that's who they're looking up to. You want to talk about Tate? I follow Tate. Tate adds value because he's going to tell you about, like, being a man. He's going to tell you about masculinity. He's going to tell you, like, how to be strong, how to face through adversity. Like, Andrew Tate will call you broke if you don't have a $30 million net worth. And I was like, fuck, I'm broke. You know, like, stuff like that. Like, that is adding value to my life. These guys are not value added.
Do you blame Andrew Tate at all for, you said it's known that Adin Ross is got loose lips sink ships. Do you blame Andrew Tate at all for telling Adin Ross that he was planning on leaving Romania?
100%. It's not the first time that happens to Andrew Tate that he leaks some information. This time is bigger.
So he's burned Tate before on things like this. Wow.
But I mean,
I think about his child, about the existence of his child. I think that was
I hate to say this.
That Tate had kids. Adin Ross revealed that
it was either Ross or it was someone else. I don't
or it was Neon. What?
Yeah, that kid.
I don't know. These people. I mean, good for them. I respect the hustle. I think that the value that Tate provides is in a different level. This guy's provide no value, and maybe they do provide some kind of value, like
selling ads.
Selling ads. Yeah. Maybe like as a young person, you know, there's not much going on. The economy's in the tank. You know, like, it's not hard to be a straight white male, you know, in this times that is most of their followings. So they're just hiding in their bedroom.
You know, can I say one thing about that whole, like, straight white male woe is me thing? Like, I'm sorry, if you're a straight white dude in America and you haven't figured out how to make that work, then I don't know what I can do for you. All right, it's not. It's like the DEI stuff. Like, granted, like, I make the argument against DEI all the time, but fundamentally, and I've said this to my following, like, they got pissed off at me. Fundamentally, when you break down the numbers, like, straight, like, control everything, own everything, have access to all kinds of capital, all kinds of power, whatever. And if you are in some space online where you're listening to people that are telling you that the world is against you because you're straight and white, like, you need to unfollow whoever it is that you're following and go get a job. Is he one of those, like, woe is me, I'm a straight white dude streamers?
I agree with you. I think he's more just like men are under oppressed. Like, he's not really about the white thing, but I agree. I think, like, victim mentality of any kind, I'm against. And it's specifically because it's like, you know, the people who say that are like, white civilization used to be so great and now, you know, it's falling apart. But it was only great because we were capitalistic and not feeling sorry for ourselves and God-fearing. Slowly, like every civilization in the past, it's become, well, I should just be entitled to, you know, have my parents' money constantly replenishing my bank account.
Huge amount of entitlement.
And like, if it is the case that, you know, you're from a white family that used to have money and doesn't anymore, well, guess what? You have to restart the family tree and start on your own capitalistic venture again. You can't just expect there to be some publishing house waiting for you, or some movie studio waiting for you to, like, drop your movie or your book in, like, it might have been 30, 40 years ago. Like, you got to start over. Like, sorry. I mean, it's not, it's the same
Nobody
thing
is coming to save you.
No, what do they say? Strong men create good times times create weak men create bad times create strong men. It's cyclical.